It is. Hey, welcome back to the trumpet. And we've been studying the seals together and going through the seven seals of the apocalypse. And I can't wait to go through this part with you right here. It's going to be about the seven trumpets and the seven bowls that announce each one of those seals and go through the wrath of what happens during each one of those periods. You know that if you go to the bottom of the screen right there, AJ's going to have where you can download this PDF, and it's the seven seals. So it's a real convenient guide that opens and introduces all of the seals and goes through them one by one. But the one thing that I want you to know, I'm not going to be going through this guide. We did that with each one of the seals. I'm going to be going through this last page of it right here. I'm going to remove it. We're going to go through this last page right here, and it's the seven seals of the apocalypse, but it also shows the different trumpets when they blow and the different bowls when they are the bowls of wrath are poured out. So I want to go through each one of the seals quickly, and then what I'm going to do is tell you about the trumpets that announce them and the bowls that announce them. And one of the things that I'm going to do the whole time is I'm going to reference back to that chart. This is something that I made, and this is something that I made too. This is an Apocrypha Bible. It's a 12-pound behemoth right here. It is just an amazing thing with gilded gold pages, and we hand make this Bible right here at Trumpet headquarters in Central Florida. So it's American made, and it's all made out of 24-pound parchment paper. One of the people that are the sponsors of my show, and they're the ones that make the t-shirts for me right here. And I really do appreciate all of their efforts. But Mr. Morris, he told me at God Send Shirts, he said, dude, I'm going to buy another one of those Bibles. He was the first one to buy one, and he's the one that told me, hey, let's wrap it all in leather and all that stuff. So really do appreciate that and his suggestions. And he's one of the reasons why we came up with this. Not only does it include all the maps of my dad's old Bible from 1839, which is just a whole mess of maps in the back of it. I'll go through some of that later. But he said he bought one of these things just so that he could give it away in a giveaway, and he's going to let me give it away for him. So just know that at the end of August, I believe that it is, if you buy one of his shirts or his t-shirts or any of these shirts that are going to be right there. If you buy any of those shirts, he's going to put your name in the hat. If you buy two of them, he'll put your name in the hat twice. And that's going to be to give away one of these trumpet Bibles right here. And it's the Apocrypha from 1582, Dewey and Rames, and it's got all the Apocrypha in it. But I'm going to open it back here to the book of Revelation, and we're going to read right through the trumpets, bowls, and the seals that they announce and that they announce for. So those are covered in Revelation chapter like 6 or through the seals, and then we'll start jumping into chapter 8. But I've got them right here on the document, and what we're going to do is go through each one of these real quick, and I just want to lay the outline out. I'll be able to post these on the screen and put them on the chart, put them on the screen so that you can follow along with me. But right now, we're going to start with each one of these. I want to make sure that you can see me. We're going to start with each one of these seals and explain how they jump through a 1,000-year period. We did that as we discussed the seals in the very first couple of sections that did each one of the seals. But now I'm going to explain to you how the trumpets and the bowls announce the period of time of the seals. So this is the first creation. This is the creation of man. This is the start of things, and there is no announcement of that. So the trumpets and the bowls, the trumpets announce this period of time of the second seal. And this is the information of the second seal. So as I read that second seal right there, it'll be about the red horse of war and the second seal. And then this trumpet announces that time span. And this bowl of wrath is also in that time span. So that's what's happening in that time span. And a day is as 1,000 years. 1,000 years is as a day. So each one of these seals going up 1,000 years, you can find out that these trumpets offset by 1,000 years announce what's happening until they get to the seventh trumpet, the final day, and right here after all of these six are broken. So are poured out, are the six seals broken, the sixth trumpet blown, and the six bowls. They're all, that's the last thing. The final trumpet is the seventh trumpet right there. And just know that's the final thing of all things. That is when it is finished. It says so much. So we're going to go through the trumpets, and what I'm going to do is break it down and read the first seal to you right here and let you know that every time that we're talking about a white horse, there's no good horse, white horse, and bad horse, white horse. The white horse of Jesus Christ, that's the good horse right there. And you just need to know in Revelation 19:11, it says that when he opened that seal, that when heaven opened, behold, a white horse, and he that sat upon him was called Faithful and True. And righteousness he doth judge and make war. So just know that that is the white horse. And that's where we're going to start off with, is the white horse right here. And it's going to be the first seal, and I'm going to read to you the white horse seal about the first seal, and then I'm going to jump right over and read the second seal and show you how the trumpets tie right in. So thank you for bearing with me. The first seal was the white horse. That's the white horse, Jesus, and there's only one good white horse. So just so, and I saw when the Lamb opened one of the seals, and I heard as if it were the noise of thunder, one of four beasts saying, Come and see. And I saw, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat upon him had a bow, and a crown was given unto him, and he went forth conquering and to conquer. So just know that's Adam was made in the image of God. And, the angels even said, let us make them in our image. So just understand that that's a divine creation, and then man was given a bow that said he would never flood the earth again, and that it was a covenant between him and God, and that he would go forth and take dominion over the earth. So he was given a bow and one of the crowns to go take dominion over as much of the earth as he could and give dominion over the animals. So that's the first horse, the white horse, and we're going to jump right up to the second seal, which is on the time chart going to be 2,000 or 1,000 years in, and it's going to be 3000 BC. That's going to be the days of Jared, when Jared was in the days of Jared around 3000 BC. Adam was 4000 BC. So the days of Jared are 3000 BC, and this is going to be the second seal 1,000 years later. So let's jump right up, and we're going to jump right up the seals. We're going to read right here about the second seal being broken. And then what happens is I'll read to you about the trumpets that announce that seal and the bowl of wrath during that. That's how it's going to lay out on the chart that I'll put on the screen right there. So we'll jump right up and read the second seal. And these are the days of Jared. And the red horse of war is what we're reading about. And when he had opened the second seal, I heard a second beast say, Come and see. And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given unto him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth. And they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword. Know immediately that the watchers descended onto earth, and they were cast to the earth, and his tail swiped a third of the stars. And when they came to earth, they taught men how to make war and how to create swords. So you cover all the bases of the second seal that you can see right there. And they were given power to take peace from the earth. That's the watchers. Now, I told you the first trumpet is going to announce the second seal. And then the first bowl is what happens in that period. So let's slide right over. And what I'm going to do is, we've read about the first seal. That's Jesus, Adam, God, all this going here. And then we're on the second seal. So now we're going to slide right over and start reading the first trumpet and the first bowl. So the first trumpet, as you can read, as they were cast down to earth. I put that right there in the top of it. It's Revelations 8, verse 7. And the first angel sounded, and there followed hail and fire mingled with blood, and they were cast upon the earth. And the third part of the trees were burned up, and all the green grass was burned up. Now, we're going to talk about a third of some things in a little bit. So just understand that when it says a third of the trees were burned up, in in conversation in the Bible, they talk about the trees that were in the garden, and one of the trees through Ezekiel, how he gave shade and provision over the garden. He was the most beautiful tree in the garden, and it refers to this evil tree as although he is a person. So I just want you to know that eventually they start talking about the trees being a living soul, or not like a living soul, but the trees being more of an entity. And it gives reference whenever they built the temple out of the trees of Lebanon and one of the cedars of Lebanon, and how the king of Tyre or Babylon was also one of these trees that towered over this, and the animals found shelter in his shade. So just know that that goes within that talking about the trees. But the big part about this is we're talking about the watchers in the second seal. And right there in the bold, it says, and they were cast upon the earth. So just know that's when the fallen angels were cast to the earth. And it makes even more sense when you go over and start talking about the first bowl, because this is the wrath of what happens during that period. So the first bowl is the wrath and of that first period, and it's Revelation 16:2. And the first went out and the first went and poured out his vial upon the earth, and there fell a noisome and grievous sore upon the men which had the mark of the beast, and upon them which worshipped his image. Understand that the first person to get the mark of the beast, or to get the mark on them, was Cain. And when he slayed Abel, he left the protected area and he asked God to put a mark upon him so that the other people, so that they would not kill him. And that's when he's outside of the garden. So you understand that Cain went to go leave the protected area of the garden, where in which there was mankind outside of that. And Cain goes outside of the garden and says, hey, you got to put a mark upon my head, or these things outside the garden, they will kill me. And that is the fallen angels and all of the perversions of nature that they created outside of the perfect garden. So there are those that did not have the mark of the beast that were on them. Those were all the ones that were restricted and with the swords, and it was ultimately a lot of them were to drown in the destruction of them. And I say a lot of them because, after Moses, there were giants still on the earth. And after the flood, Moses sent out the spies into the land, and they came back and said, we look like grasshoppers. I'm going to take a break in between this and check my audio, make sure that it's working good, and then I'm going to get me something to drink and come right back.